Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So shouts out to all the subscribers and members that come to the stream. You guys know what to do. Make sure you smash that like button. Always leave a comment at the end of the stream. Watch it all the way through to the end. Hit the links at the end and let it take you right into the next premiere window for the next scheduled programming. All right. So, real quick, just so everybody knows, memberships are now available again on Blacklight Revelations 2. So, if you were a member of this channel before, you are most definitely able to click that join button or one of the links that the bots puts into the chat to get that membership with your membership status back. I've decreased the memberships to 99 cents, just like on BLR1. So it's only 99 cents if you want to have a cool green name and a loyalty badge, which, some people like that kind of stuff. And also, if you would like to see the channel become independent, Patreon is the best way to directly help with that. The link for Patreon should be posted in the chat. All right. So let's get into this. All right. We got a legacy of a family racist, anti-Black hate crime that took place in Georgia, and it looks like there's a celebration of life to be had. That is a celebration of a life sentence. Shout out to my man AB Promotions. What's good with it? Father, son, get life for hate crime in Ahmaud Arbery's death. Now, here's my thing, right? Me personally, I feel the same way about this that I feel about people who pay child support. You shouldn't get an applause and you shouldn't get a pat on the back for doing what you're supposed to do. Okay, the United States government actually did something. So what? If it's a hate crime, then people should be prosecuted for hate crimes. But what it seems like is that the Department of Justice selectively chooses what is versus what isn't a hate crime, especially when it comes to Black people. So, do I care about this? No more than I would care about any other crime. No more than I care about any other crime. The only thing that I'm surprised about is that this just slightly increases the probability that this could be done again. That's the only thing that I care about. So the United States government, the Department of Justice, and the judicial branch of the United States, they've shown that it is possible to prosecute for an anti-Black hate crime. I won't care about this until they establish a pattern of doing it, and until they establish a pattern of doing it when they're not looking for something in return. Because if you're one of these anti-Black racists, if you're a white supremacist, or if you're a dirty cop, you should be learning things too. And what you should be learning right now is that the best time to commit a hate crime is not around election time. Because the only reason why they're doing this, the only reason why they're doing Breonna Taylor is because they're pandering. Somebody needs some votes. Because this clearly isn't the outcome that the Biden Department of Justice wanted. The Biden Department of Justice tried to go behind the family's back and give these people some kind of backdoor deal. Shouts out to my man Kareem Yee. So it's safe to say that this is nothing but a political pandering technique. It's safe to say that this isn't what the Biden administration was looking for. And it's safe to say that this is nothing more than a Democrat trick bag. But it is what it is. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 10 live viewers. Shouts out to all 10 live viewers who are watching. Thank you. Appreciate it. The channel wouldn't be the channel without you guys. If everybody can smash that like button and hit that bell icon, we'd have 17 likes. And remember, guys, we have a goal of 100 likes per stream. So let's get it popping. All right. My man Cameron Jones is in the building. What up with it, Cameron? Cameron says, it's also never a hate crime when cops do it, which is fascinating because, I mean, we can safely say that the police are indeed an anti-black white supremacist hate group. I mean, we literally can say that. People may not like it, people may not want to acknowledge it, but it is what it is. There's proof that says otherwise, especially since the FBI came out with the domestic terrorist report, as well as since the FBI came out with the report on white supremacy infiltration into United States law enforcement. As much infiltration that has been proven by the United States itself as far as being involved in law enforcement, it's pretty safe to say that the police are a full-fledged white supremacist organization. I mean, when it comes to California, we have the executioners. When it comes to California, we have the banditos. When it comes to just anywhere in the United States, we have a legacy of ongoing killings of unarmed people. I mean, it is what it is. Shouts out to my man, Ricky Jones. My man, Ricky Jones says, we still have 64% of the black community supporting JCJ. I don't even know what to say, bro. I don't even know what to say. The only thing that we can keep doing is just keep showing examples and keep showing proof. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, the white father and son convicted of murder in Ahmaud Arbery's fatal shooting after they chased him through a Georgia neighborhood were sentenced Monday to a life prison for committing a federal hate crime. A U.S. District Court judge sentenced Travis McMichael and his father, Greg McMichael, 66, in Brunswick. Both were previously sentenced to life without parole in the state court for Ahmaud Arbery's murder. So now they had already been sentenced for life. So now what I find fascinating is what's going to be done with the state of Georgia. Because as far as I'm concerned, now that they've gotten the hate crime charges, the state of Georgia should be sued under the RICO statute. Because not only were these McDaniels family members involved in this, remember, it's a legacy of ongoing and cultural crime, but Jackie Johnson, the prosecutor, I'm sorry, Travis McMichael, Jackie Johnson, the prosecutor, was involved as well. Hashtag never forget. Hashtag never forget Jackie Johnson, the Karen that tried to let these guys go and tamper with this entire case so that they would never be prosecuted. Because let's not forget, McDaniels used to be a cop. As far as I'm concerned, he's still a cop. He's doing the same thing as cops. So now here it says a federal jury in February convicted Greg McMichael, Travis McMichael, and neighbor William Roddy Bryan of violating Arbery's civil rights, concluding they targeted him because he was black. Duh. But yet and still, you still had people saying that that didn't happen. You had people saying that this was self-defense. You actually had people saying that Ahmaud Arbery resisted. You literally had all of those. And just so you guys know, make sure that you guys check the community wall like all the time, because literally from here on out, when I see any of these kind of receipts, I'm going to post them up in my community wall so we can rip them up. Also, if you guys make sure that you follow me on my other social media, follow the other channels. Anytime you guys see an idiotic comment, make sure you guys send it to me or tag me in it, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Make sure. Yeah, resisted a white man's arrest. Facts. Notice how certain news agencies didn't cover this as well. All three were also found guilty of attempted kidnapping, and the McMichaels were convicted of using guns in the commission of a violent crime. All right, now my question is, when is the state of Georgia going to be punished for this? Shouts out to my man Mike Mellis John. What up with it, bro? The state of Georgia should be punished in this as well, because again, the state of Georgia hired 2 employees for their criminal justice system, Jackie Johnson and her colleague, that attempted to tamper with this case to allow the McDaniels to not be arrested, being that that was a state employee that utilized her power, and Georgia was a slave state, which means that it's commissioned ongoing anti-Black racism along with Jim Crow. There's an ongoing legacy of anti-Black racism facilitating enterprise and extortion, which, in my opinion, qualifies the state of Georgia for a RICO lawsuit federally. Matter of fact, that's not my opinion. That's according to the standards of the RICO statute. If you guys don't know about the RICO statute standard, you guys should go back and check out my stream that we did about R. Kelly. And there's another stream on this channel. I forget who it's about, Casanova, where we talk about that as well. So now here it says the McMichaels armed themselves with guns and used a pickup truck to chase Aubrey after the 25-year-old ran past their home on February 23rd of 2020. Brian joined them in the pursuit in his own truck and recorded a cell phone video of Travis McMichael shooting Aubrey with a shotgun. Idiot. Complete and utter idiocy. But can you expect anything else is the question. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 10 live viewers. Shouts out to everybody that's watching, and we got 7 likes. If everybody smashes that like button, we will be at 17 likes, which would be great. That will definitely help the stream. So please make sure that you guys smash that like button. Also, make sure that you guys share the video out. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, it's free. Go ahead and make sure you hit that bell icon. Shouts out to Val Williams. What up with it, Val? The McMichaels told police they suspected Aubrey was a burglar. Now, why? Here's my question. Was he running down the street with a TV? Did he have a sack over his back? Why did they assume that he was a burglar? It's because the same thing that TD said in his video. America, white America, has created the picture that Black people are synonymous with crime. Again, even more of why the United States, anytime there's a hate crime, should always be gone after for RICO statute, because the United States is the biggest in the marketing department of anti-Black racism. Anytime Black people deal with racism, the United States should always be sued. Always. Investigators determined he was unarmed and had committed no crimes. Of course he was. Duh. Now, these are civilians, the McMichaels. How many times has that occurred with the police and police encounters? That's the question. The U.S. District Court Judge Lisa Godbey Wood said Monday that Travis McMichael had received a fair trial. Now, here's my question. How many Black jurors were on that jury? Were there all white jurors, or were there any Black jurors? And were the amount of Black jurors proportionate to the amount of Black people given that community? That would be my question. And it's not lost on the court that it was the kind of trial that Ahmaud Arbery did not receive before he was shot and killed, the judge said. Now, just because some U.S. District Court judge says that a trial is fair, I don't necessarily agree or believe that it's fair. Yeah, I'm glad they go into a state prison too. You remember, Torian, that McDaniels was a cop. You know what happens to cops in jail. Right. Travis said he's afraid he will be killed in prison. Well, I'm sure Ahmaud Arbery was afraid he would have gotten killed on the street. Oh, yeah, I forgot he did. $11 white and $1 Black juror. Does that sound like a fair trial? Does that sound like a fair trial to anybody? That doesn't sound like a fair trial to me. So beware of the fair trial trick bag. Just because somebody gets a guilty verdict or a verdict that sounds good doesn't mean that the criminal justice system has been completely corrected, because it's not. Who was in control of this jury? Who was in complete control of this jury? It wasn't a 50-50 split. It wasn't 50-50 control. It was comfortably controlled by white jurors. That's not a fair trial because that's not a jury of our peers. According to the Constitution that they like to recite so much, that's a jury of our peers. When they say that, now you understand why they try to dilute anytime you say anything about black. Because in that situation, if you say, well, wait a minute, we're all American, then that takes away the necessity of having to have adequate representation in the jury box. And that's why they do it. Real quick, Torian, make sure you put your link in the channel. So if there's anybody in here that's not subscribed to Torian's channel, you guys can go over there and make sure that you guys subscribe. Nice roast, you know what I'm saying, for that idiot Ryan Kennel. You know what I'm saying? He looks like he lost his mind, but he should have it on his priority list to find his teeth. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says, before the two sentencing, she heard from members of Aubrey's family. His mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, said she feels very shot. She feels every shot. Okay, I got it. Never mind. Before the two sentencing, she heard from members of Aubrey's family. His mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, said she feels every shot that was fired at her son every day. It's so unfair that he was killed while he was not even committing a crime, she said. Greg McMichael addressed the Aubrey family before he was sentenced, saying their loss was beyond description. What does that mean? Their loss is very easily described. It's an anti-black legacy racist hate crime. It's an anti-black legacy hate crime. And is 1 divided by 11 1.3? Can anybody do the math on that real quick? And do they make up 13% of that community or 13% of the population? Last time I checked, it was 13% of the population. And black people are always encouraged to not go to jury duty. And when they get a jury selection, they're not selected most times anyway. Again, still not a fair system. 0.9. Yeah, so that's not a fair representation by your own words. So instead of complaining about woke math books, why don't you pick up an arithmetic book so that you can do fractions and proportions with your allegedly 1 standard deviation higher IQ? Why don't you do that? So now here it says, I'm sure my words mean very little to you, but I want to assure you I never wanted any of this to happen, and there was no malice in my heart or my son's heart that day, he said. So let's account for 13% of this bullshit. Is 13% of this bullshit that this clown just said peanut shells? Is it undigested strings from string bean, or is it corn husks? Which one is it? Which one is it? So now here it says Travis McMichael declined to address the court. Of course he did, because there was nothing to say, because I have nothing to say, because I'm not sorry, because I did what I was supposed to do. And harm a black person is America's favorite pastime. But his attorney, Amy Lee Copeland, said her client had no convictions before Aubrey's slaying and had served in the U.S. Coast Guard. He also served as a police officer. Oh, she said a lighter sentence would be more consistent with what similarly charged defendants have received in other cases, noting that the officer who killed George Floyd in Minneapolis, Derek Chauvin, got 21 years in prison for violating Floyd's civil rights, though he was not charged with targeting Floyd because of his race. So there you go. What do you guys think about that? That's what they think. I mean, killing a black person, I mean, it's not that damn bad. I mean, Jesus. I mean, Jesus. Even Chauvin didn't get that kind of a sentence. I mean, Jesus. Yeah, you're going to need Jesus in that state prison. Aubrey's killing became a part of a larger national reckoning over racial justice and killing of unarmed black people, including Floyd and Breonna Taylor in Kentucky. This has nothing to do with a racial reckoning. There is no racial reckoning in the United States until the racial wealth gap is closed. This is just what's supposed to happen. This is just if the United States wasn't a bunch of liars, and if the United States wasn't the biggest pyramid scheme in the entire world. You don't get applause when you do what you're supposed to do. Let me ask you guys something. Every time you take a breath, blink your eyes, or your heart beat, does somebody press an applause button for you? Or do you have to just continue along with life because you're doing necessary, normal shit? Not killing people in most places is just necessary and normal shit. But in the United States, we're supposed to give some kind of applause. I don't think so. Okay, you did something right once, keep doing it. And even doing this right, you still didn't do it right, because this is how pathetic the United States is. In this Ahmaud Arbery case, more white supremacy going vertically up to the prosecutor in the criminal justice system was discovered. Had Ahmaud Arbery not been killed, would we have known that Jackie Johnson was a corrupt prosecutor? Or would that just have been continuing to slide under the radar? And my question is, where are the other news agencies' coverages on Jackie Johnson? Because she played an integral part in this nonsense as well. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 21 live viewers. Shout out to all 21 live viewers. We got 15 likes. If everybody can take a moment, smash that like button and get us to 36 likes, that would be great. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed to my backup channels, make sure you guys smash that like button on the backup channels and hit that bell icon twice, and follow me on my other social media. Jackie Johnson does look like a parakeet. She does look like a parakeet, and she repeats racism like a parrot. So now here it says these two cases also resulted in the Justice Department bringing federal charges. What I find fascinating is the double standards of the white media. What we have here is a civilian, actually 3 civilians, Travis McMichael, Roddy Diaper, and his son, Greg McMichael, who were civilians charged in a crime against another civilian. And they're comparing this to police officers with no mention that the elder McMichael was a police officer who was in direct contact with Jackie Johnson. Val did the math, which means that one black person only makes up 9% of an 11-person jury. One black person makes up 9%. So by the person in the comment section who put, well, Jesus Christ, Jesus, black people only make up 13% of the population. Jesus. Let's do another basic arithmetic exercise. You guys remember the alligator mouth? Is 9% greater than or less than 13%? So not only do you have an unequal distribution of power in the jury box, you also have a disproportionate one, because disproportionate means when something's not proportional. But remember, these are the people that are one standard deviation higher than us on average, allegedly. So now here it says the evidence we presented at a trial proved what so many people felt in their hearts when they watched the video of Ahmaud Arbery's tragic, unnecessary death, that this would have never happened had he been white, prosecutor Christopher Paris said before Travis McMichael was sentenced. I disagree with that. If black people start laying down the law and start protecting our boundaries, it'll stop happening to us. You sounded exactly like that. Actually, you're right. You didn't sound like that. Your voice was about 2 octaves higher. The McMichaels were among 3 defendants convicted in February of federal hate crime charges. Brian had a sentencing hearing scheduled later on Monday. A state superior court imposed life sentences for all three men in January's murder of Ahmaud Arbery, with both McMichaels being denied any chances of parole. And a reluctant United States is pissed about this. A reluctant United States of America is pissed about this. Well, they should stay pissed. All three defendants have remained in jail in coastal Glenn County in custody of U.S. Marshals while awaiting sentencing after their federal convictions in January. Because they were first charged and convicted of murder in a state court, protocol would have them turned over to the Georgia Department of Corrections to serve their life terms in a state prison. And now again, we have them talking about they fear for their lives. Well, I guess this time it's justified. I guess this time it's justified. Now, what I want you guys to pay very close attention to is to pay very close attention to how the McDaniels lawyer sounded like most Americans. Well, I mean, it wasn't that bad. Killing someone's son isn't that bad. Just pay attention about how that's the baseline sentiment. Now, these people would fall out and ball out and have all kinds of crazy attacks if somebody harmed their son. But the expectation is that it's okay if they attack yours. The expectation is that they attack yours. Shouts out to Faith Enlightened. What up with it, Faith? I don't know if Ahmaud Arbery was FBA, Cameron. I'm not sure. I don't think he was, though. But don't quote me. Shouts out to my man Crypto Key. So pay very close attention when you have somebody nailed to the wall and they're bleeding out of an artery, just spurting blood all over the place intellectually. We've been talking about a trial, and this person asks something completely unrelated. Intellectual prowess on display. This, you're looking at what the bell curve says is a full standard deviation higher intelligence quotient right here. What do you guys think about that? If you guys think that this comment displays a full standard deviation higher intelligence quotient racially, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. If this proves that the bell curve is complete Manhattan Institute manure, put a clown face in the comment section. Put a clown face in there for clown face supremacy in the circus of the United States. So now here it says, in court filings last week, both Travis and Greg McMichael asked the judge instead to divert them to a federal prison, saying they won't be safe in a Georgia prison system that's subject of the United States Justice Department investigation focused on violence between inmates. Well, guess what? Black people aren't safe in the United States, a country full of racists with a racist history, but we never get diverted anywhere. So guess what? Since all lives matter and everybody's created equal, since we got to sit here in an anti-black continental prison, shouldn't be too bad for you to sit in one built by your own forefathers and elected officials. Clearly, a dominant, conquering colonizer isn't making that complaint. I mean, just if you have any trouble, you got your son and you got your neighbor. Just do everybody like you had planned on doing Ahmaud Arbery, and I guarantee you, your stay in prison will be fine. Copeland said during Monday's hearing for Travis McMichael that her client has received hundreds of threats that he will be killed as soon as he arrives at a state prison. Damn, you know what that prison sounds like to me? Man, that prison sounds like a sundown town. That prison sounds like a sundown town. That prison also sounds like an affluent suburb. That prison literally sounds like anywhere in America at any time, especially in the South. Here goes some more intellectual prowess on display. If you don't like it here, then go back to scratching your nuts on a tree branch then. I was never scratching my nuts on a tree branch. And actually, what you should do is get back on all fours and go back where you came from because you're the one that came from somewhere, not me. Don't you know your history, son? Literally, son. I'm concerned, Your Honor, that my client effectively faces backdoor death penalty. And I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna tell you what else. What's gonna start happening in the future is that if we don't like it, when our kids start turning up dead, people might start seeing the same thing happen to them. Now, if you don't like the probability of that happening, maybe you might want to calm yourself down or go back where you came from. Like I said, which is on all fours, where there's some stalagmites and stalactites at. Oh, he's upset. He's upset, which is exactly how he should be. The United States likes being involved in war so much they should stay triggered at all times. So now here it says, I'm concerned, Your Honor, that my client effectively faces a backdoor death penalty. And you know what? Actually, it sounds to me like the McDaniels are the people that don't like this current conditions. Doesn't it, Tate? It sounds like the McDaniels don't like the current conditions. So maybe the McDaniels should go back to where they came from. Oh, that's right. They can't. They're about to do life. They're about to do life. So I guess they can't go back to where they came from, can they? Can they? Let's ask some more intelligent people. Is it possible for the McDaniels family to go back where they came from? Not anymore. Speaking of swinging from a tree before they die, I got a feeling that they'll probably be suffering from a case of monkeypox. Yep. But this is what you all need to pay attention to. Lice off instead of Lysol. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's why I don't believe in that whole Adam and Eve story. They peacefully rested among the animals. I don't know about that. It's not some shit that most people did was peacefully rested among the animals, but whatever. So now here it says, I'm concerned, Your Honor, that my client effectively faces a backdoor death penalty. He about to get that backdoor kicked in with the biggest battering rams he ever seen in his entire life. And then he gonna mess around and have a spotted face. He's gonna be in jail suffering from European monkeypox. He said, adding to the retribution and revenge, we're not sentencing factors, even for a defendant who is publicly revealed. Aubrey's father, Marcus Aubrey Sr., said Travis McMichael had shown his son no mercy and deserves to rot in a state prison. Yeah, that's great. Excellent comment, man. The Aubrey family has definitely turned themselves around on the things that they were saying before, which is a good sign. Shouts out to the Aubrey family for being quick learners. I totally agree. If you guys agree with Aubrey's father, give me a radiation emoji. And if you don't, give me some tears. We all know who's going to be giving some tears. You know what I'm saying? You killed him because he was a black man and you hate black people, he said. You deserve no mercy. Ah, hell yeah. That's what's up, man. It's about time people start talking like that. Maybe he'll set a trend. Wood said she didn't have the authority to order the state to relinquish custody of Travis McMichael to the Federal Bureau of Prisons, but also wasn't inclined to do so in this case. She also declined to keep Greg McMichael in federal custody. During the February hate crimes trial, prosecutors fortified their case that Aubrey's killing was motivated by racism by showing the jury roughly 24 text messages and social media posts in which Travis McMichael and Bryant used racial slurs and made disparaging comments about black people, like all of the United States, like everybody who's non-black in the United States does. Freedom of speech, First Amendment right. Keep on saying that stuff. Keep on acting that way. Recording people committing anti-black hate crimes isn't the only thing people are out here using their cell phones for. Taking screenshots of social media accounts and posts as well. Defense attorneys for three men argued that McMichaels and Bryant didn't pursue Aubrey because of his race, but acted on an earnest, though erroneous, suspicion that Aubrey had committed crimes in their neighborhood. Well, I mean, if that's the case, pretty much any non-white person could profile a white person like that here in the United States, because, I mean, this entire establishment of this country is a crime in our neighborhood. But nobody does that. Only they do. But then when you point out that they do it, they cry about it being anti-white, which I don't understand how that's anti-white, because you're looking at the three people who actually killed somebody. You're looking at the three people who posted disparaging social media posts. You're listening to somebody that thinks that all humanity should get along in a civil way, but other groups of people have proven that they can't do that they're not capable of it. If you don't like what I say, then maybe you should change your behavior so that what I say isn't justified. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the stream. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you already know what to do. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Share the video out to all of your followers, and I will catch you all on the next video. All right? Peace.